So here we are in San Francisco. Um, if you zoom in, so there are our hexes. You zoom in more, you get these smaller hexes. I think there's 30 from point to point. And so each one of these smaller hexes represents, I believe, between 16 to 17 meters. That looks like it'll be good for getting a little more precise, although wouldn't want to have it on all the time. There must be a way to turn that off, those smaller hexes. A quick note on the credits for this software. So every simulation costs one token, one credit. They're basically about $1 each. So we want to be not waste them. Now, don't misunderstand, Jasmine. That of course this is for doing the job. So if you have to use 3 or 4 at one cell site, or sorry, one miner location, that's fine. That's what we want you to do. That's the job. You might run 3 or 4 simulations to see which is the best location for the placement of the miner. That's no problem. Just making it known that where work can be done prior to having a simulation run, do so, and that'll save us from overusing them. You can input an address in this tool as well, but here we've got it expressed as a GPS. Oops. I think we would like you to express these numbers as a decimal digit number. I'm sure with AK you found that you're aware that there are 3 or 4 ways to represent GPS locations. I think this is how Trevor wants it expressed. There's 4 decimal places, and you have to put a negative on the longitude. I think some of them just have a W, but for our purposes, west of the prime meridian, we need that negative on the longitudinal number. Okay, let's go to there's the search button for this tool, and we'll put in that same address. $140 Cundles Road West. Okay, so we punched in the address, and it conveniently gives us the GPS coordinates. So you can see a fairly expansive building. These are houses, so this is a fair bit bigger, and that can provide a number of possible locations for the miner placement. Okay, here we are, the frequency. Let's do some inputs. I mentioned that we operate in a 900 band, and specifically for North America, 915. So we would punch in that number. That's you'll input that. We'll want to keep that in megahertz. Antenna gain again is how strong, how much amplification an antenna provides you. And the bobcats, the supplied antenna that comes with the Bobcats, if I remember, operates at 4 dBi. Cable loss. Now that is, there's always a difference between the theoretical and the real world. So the cable loss is basically how much loss of signal we get on the cable that runs from the miner to the antenna. Now, in a lot of these situations, we'll be able to connect the antenna directly to screw it onto the miner. In other ones where the miner might be inside, but we have to run a cable out and up to the further up top where the roof is for the antenna, that's the cable we're talking about, which provides some loss. It's not terrible, but you have to take into account. But on a short cable, if it's well built, a meter or so, it's negligible. So we'll just, the loss is measured in 100 meters per, or so many decibels per 100 meters. But for our purposes, if we're just going to be maybe a 1 or 2 meter cable, we'll just leave that at 0 for the moment. Height. This is going to become fairly important because if you can get your antenna above surrounding buildings, above the tree line, it's got a lot further and a better view of the horizon. It's got farther reach. So typically, we want to get our units up high. The first floor, I think, would probably be 15 feet, probably. I don't know if Trevor has a preference with expressing it in feet or meters, but let's get one consistent way to do it. He'll let us know what his preference is. I think, yeah, 15 feet per story. I don't know if that's right or not, but yeah, we'll nail that down. Let's just leave this one at 5 feet, basically, on the first floor for our example here. Here we've got our antenna placement with options for, I guess, indoor and outdoor. Yeah. The terrain can play with us. So if you're downtown in an urban area, tall buildings everywhere, healthy mix. The suburbs, you have the houses, but and occasional trees. And a wooded area. What's really nice is when you get clear line of sight. Then you can go far and still get solid signal.